my dears! I've been invited recently to the wedding party. That's made me motivated to prepare a special greeting card. When I'm about to prepare some kind of card, I usually start with drawing symmetrical, circle-based shapes. It's just my preferential. I like modest, neat and tidy compositions. Once I have set an algorithm, I want to use it for a long time. Hope that will make my cards distinguishable. I've had prepared a stencil before, in Affinity Designer. That was some kind of sketch or a base for future painting. If you treat the stencil as if it is your sketch, it's no big deal what kind of brush you use to paint. Filbert's brush is one of my favorite unique brushes from Rebelle. I use it standardly with high water content. Love to watch the paint pooling around the edges. I recommend continuously thinking about direction of light. I painted small bright drops on the upright side of the bubbles and darker ones on the left down side. Can you see how the light is directed? I had an overall idea of the card in my mind, but it has evolved in time. It's quite nice, but wait for the main dish. I decided to paint something eye-catching in the foreground. The inspiration was my pendant, which resembles a small dog-shaped balloon. The photo of my lovely golden dog was imported into Rebelle as an individual layer. Then its opacity was decreased. I resized it and duplicated it. Next, I added another layer and started overpainting. Of course, it's possible to simply paint from reference, but this approach saved my time. However, I should emphasize that following the traditional way is invaluable. I mean, looking at a reference and painting. It improves your eye-hand coordination. To paint in some restricted areas, use a mask. Here's a quick list. First, select a layer. In my case, it was a layer with dog-shaped balloons. Choose a type of mask. I chose a transparent one because I want to paint the inner of a doggy shape. Then create a new layer and set it to an influenced one. Now it should be influenced by mask. As you can see, I could easily change the color of the dog. Once again, I used a mask. It was needed because I wanted to add some soft reflections, painted with overlay mode. My balloons started being glossy. To give the balloons more cartoon character, I added a contour line with a soft pencil. The composition was a little bit changed. Doggies are staying at some angle, which gives the whole more dynamics. Finally, I decided to skip the doggy, I mean the first basic shape in the background, and left only the part with cyan beads. It started looking more like a bracelet. To make it more elegant, the light blue bow was added. My tip: start with a general shape. Color it with light or dark color and then add shadows or lights. In my case, the folds of the ribbon were lightened up. A few bright spots were added to give it glittery. Some jewelry for special occasions. I was about to add an inscription with wishes, so I used a ruler and marked the lines for letters. Then the fountain pen was chosen with a squared shape. It's very helpful to search the internet at first to get some inspiration on creative lettering. I decreased the opacity of the layer with the handwriting text and repeated the process, but with more decisive movements. To prepare my painting for the printing, I imported it to Affinity Publisher. I decided my greeting card to be the size of half of A4 by half of A4 when folded. That's why rulers are moved to certain positions. Snapping to the ruler and markings was active, so it was easy to place the painting. I also added my signature, of course. Affinity Publisher has one more feature that comes in handy. It allows you to export your file in SMYK, which is the basic color model used in the printing process. The dashed line for cutting was added at the bottom. This is what the file looked like just before printing. The final effect has positively surprised me.